Hey everyone from Detroit. As you know, in our city, we're crazy about cars, and I'm no exception. My name is Michael, and my channel is all about that. Subscribe if you're interested in in-depth insights from someone with real hands-on experience. All right, let's get into it.
So let's dive straight into the biggest challenge EV owners face in winter: range reduction. You might be surprised by just how much your range can shrink. We're not talking about a small percentage here. We're talking about a potentially significant drop, sometimes as much as 40 or 50%, depending on your car, the weather, and your driving habits. Why such a dramatic decrease? Well, there are several key factors at play. First, energy consumption increases dramatically in winter. Think about it. You're not just powering your car's motor, you're also fighting against the cold. Heating your cabin, defrosting your windows, and even keeping your battery at an optimal temperature all require significant energy. This extra energy drain directly translates to a shorter driving range. The colder it gets, the harder your battery has to work, and the more energy it consumes just to maintain its own temperature, let alone power your wheels. We're talking about a considerable increase in energy usage, far beyond what you'd experience in milder weather. Consider the impact of extreme cold, temperatures well below 0 degrees Celsius on your range. It's a substantial difference. Next, we have the issue of reduced energy regeneration. Regenerative braking, that system that recharges your battery as you slow down, becomes significantly less effective in cold weather. The cold temperatures affect the efficiency of the system, meaning you're not getting as much of a boost back into your battery as you would in warmer conditions. This means you're relying more heavily on the battery's stored energy, further impacting your overall range. The difference can be surprisingly noticeable, especially during frequent braking and city driving. You'll find yourself needing to charge more often, simply because you're not getting that helpful regenerative braking assistance. Then there's the decrease in the battery's capacity itself. Cold temperatures directly impact the performance of lithium-ion batteries. The chemical reactions within the battery that facilitate energy storage become slower and less efficient in the cold. This means your battery simply can't hold as much charge as it would on a warm day. It's not a permanent reduction, but it's a significant factor impacting your available range during winter months. Think of it like this: your battery's fuel tank effectively shrinks in the cold. Now, let's talk about battery charge consumption during winter trips. You'll likely notice a much faster depletion of your battery's charge compared to warmer months. Even short trips can result in a surprisingly large percentage of battery usage. This is due to the combined effects of increased energy consumption for heating, reduced regenerative braking, and the inherent reduction in battery capacity. Careful planning and preheating your car before you leave are crucial to mitigate this. The battery storage capacity itself isn't permanently altered, but its effective capacity is significantly reduced by the cold. This is a key point to understand. Your battery still has the same total energy storage potential, but a portion of that potential is unavailable due to the cold's impact on the chemical processes within the battery. This is why you see a range reduction, not a permanent loss of battery capacity. Forced tuning or modifying your car's software to improve performance is something some people consider. However, this is a complex area and should only be done by professionals who understand the potential risks. Improper tuning can damage your battery or other components, so proceed with extreme caution. It's not a guaranteed solution, and it could potentially void your warranty. Finally, let's touch on popular autonomous heating systems for electric cars. Many EVs offer preconditioning features that allow you to warm up your cabin remotely, often through a smartphone app. This is a fantastic way to mitigate range loss because you're warming the cabin using electricity from the grid rather than draining your battery while driving. However, remember that even preheating consumes energy, so it's best to use it strategically. Different systems have different levels of efficiency, so understanding your car's specific system is key to maximizing its benefits. Explore the options available in your vehicle's manual to learn how to best utilize its preheating capabilities. So let's dive straight into the quirks of keeping your electric vehicle happy during winter. One of the biggest challenges is range reduction in freezing temperatures, and that's where preheating systems come in. We're talking about things like the Webasto ThermoTop Evo, the Dedza D060 1.8 kW heater, and the planer systems. These aren't just fancy gadgets. They're lifesavers in the cold. They preheat your car's battery and cabin, significantly extending your range and making those frosty mornings a lot more pleasant. Now, when should you consider installing one of these preheaters? Well, it really depends on your climate and how much you rely on your EV. If you live in an area with consistently sub-zero temperatures, or if you regularly make long journeys in winter, then investing in A preheater is a smart move. Think about it. The extra range you gain can be the difference between making it to your destination and getting stranded. It's also worth considering the convenience factor. Stepping into a warm car on a freezing day is a luxury you'll quickly appreciate. The initial cost might seem steep, but the long-term benefits, both in terms of comfort and range preservation, often outweigh the investment. Plus, you'll be saving your battery from the extra stress of having to heat the cabin itself. Beyond preheaters, there are other clever tricks you can employ to make winter driving in an EV easier. Conscious driving is key. Aggressive acceleration and braking drain your battery much faster in cold weather. Smooth, steady driving is your friend here. Try to avoid unnecessary idling, as that also wastes energy. And remember, tire pressure is crucial in winter. Underinflated tires increase rolling resistance, reducing your range. Keep a close eye on your tire pressure and adjust as needed. These small changes can make a surprisingly big difference in your overall range. Then there's the issue of charging infrastructure. Finding a charging station in the winter can be a real headache, especially if you're traveling. Many public chargers are less efficient in cold weather, meaning charging times can be significantly longer. Planning your journeys carefully is essential. Use a navigation app that shows you the locations of charging stations and their availability. And always factor in extra charging time just in case. It's better to be safe than sorry, especially when you're dealing with limited range and potentially unreliable charging infrastructure. Finally, staying up to date on related news is important. New technologies and advancements are constantly emerging in the EV world, and keeping abreast of these developments can help you optimize your winter driving experience. There are always new tips and tricks being shared, and new products hitting the market that can make a real difference. So, keep an eye out for those updates and stay informed.